Hello, hello, hello. I don't know how this episode is going to land, but I'm going to share how I've worked out in the last week, just to give you a snapshot of how I move. It might be helpful for you. You might get some inspiration, some ideas. But before I continue and give some disclaimers, I just want to say thank you to each of you for listening. I appreciate each time that you download an episode. If there's any feedback or requests or comments, questions, feel free to email me, Michelle at mlroscoe.com. It's in the show notes. You can also find me on Instagram and DM me there. I love to hear from you. So just thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so whatever you're doing, you could grab a seat, or maybe you're on a walk or on a drive. Maybe you're working out yourself. I'm just gonna give you a little snapshot. I was like, should I do what I eat in it? I'm not gonna do what I eat in a day. I might give you some like examples of meals that I eat just for I don't know. I mean, it's neutral, right? I eat food. I move. And I do want to say that if you notice yourself comparing as if I'm better or you're better, just notice that our thoughts are so powerful and they are also so fucking optional. They are so fucking optional. And that is where empowerment is. The more you can notice your thoughts and notice what's coming up and the feelings that those thoughts bring, and challenge those thoughts with questions, with other options. We think that our way of thinking is just fact and just true, and we get to decide what is true for us. So just being aware of that as you listen, notice if you start to judge yourself or to compare in a negative way, and just see if you can be curious. And for some of you, this might not be the best episode to listen to if you're in a journey where you're not ready to do that, or it feels like you're not in a place. That's okay. You don't have to listen to this episode. The next one is going to be a great interview next week that I know you'll find helpful and inspiring. But yeah, give yourself permission to say no if this is not right for you. But if you're curious and you can stay open and just be aware of your thoughts that might be judgmental or critical, then welcome on board. So, I mean, this is not going to be like super complex. I love exercise, and there's like something that comes from doing it for so long and knowing the facts behind it as a personal trainer and having coached hundreds of people. You just learn a thing that becomes or two that becomes intuitive, and you learn to understand the human body more, which is amazing. But I'm not one of those. I'm also not one of those like deep science bros where I'm gonna fight you on what's like if a 90-degree curl is better than a 100-degree curl or something like that. I'm not going to fight you on that. I think in the big picture, those details are not as relevant unless you are going for, I don't know, a super specific physique or bodybuilding. Then I'm also not in that niche. I'm more interested in helping you have an empowering, joyful, knowledgeable, personal relationship with your body, with exercise, with movement, and with food. And there's so much wiggle room within that for what works for you. So this is what I have learned, what that I enjoy in my own workouts. So last week, it's Thursday right now when I'm recording this. So I'm just going to give you from last Friday, which was Halloween. It's the 6th. This I usually recorded a week before. I was a little bit behind. I usually do it on Tuesdays. Anyways, so the 31st, I went to November Project, which is a workout community and outside workout group that I've been a part of for about 2.5 years. we meet, well, I meet them at 6:28 on Friday mornings at the square. So if you are in Madison or nearby Madison and you'd like to join, it's a great group. I'm usually there on Fridays. And there was a special Halloween workout where you had to like collect certain things to cast a spell, and you had to do like 50 burpees and like a 5-minute plank. And basically, we ran around in circles around the Capitol building. And I felt like I was pushing myself a little bit. And I was in push mode a little bit, and that was fun. I felt a little tired after that workout. And so that's what I did on Friday. I think I considered going for a slow long run after that because I was like, that sounds kind of fun. And then I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then Saturday, let's see, what did I do on Saturday? And by the way, I do track my workouts. For some of you, it might not be the healthiest thing, but oh yeah, I was out very late. I'm not going to disclose super personal details right now, but I was out pretty late. It was Halloween. It was gay Christmas. So I was out pretty late, and the next day I like didn't do anything. It was in lying mode for a lot of the day, besides a little bit of movement and some coffee. And on Sunday, I was feeling a little bit better. I was like, often on Sundays or Mondays, I'll go for a longer run, and I checked in with how I felt, and I was like, 4 miles sounds good. So I did 4 miles. It was an easy pace. It was, if you're familiar with Orange Theory, where I used to coach, is like more of a base pace. So not, and just something I could sustain for a while without going too above or too below. So 4 miles. Monday, I was like, oh, I kind of miss doing more like metabolic stuff where it's like higher intensity but using strength with lighter weights. So it's not like hypertrophy where you're like looking to gain muscle. It's more like building some power and strength and getting some cardio as well. Those are like my favorite types of workouts, especially if you're short on time. And if you're just getting started with exercise, it might not be the best place to start, but I'm going to give you an example of what this looks like. But high intensity, so it gets your heart rate up, and you're incorporating full body strength exercises, and which will automatically get your heart rate up. And I just really like the way that it feels. I like the results that I get from it. And so this is something I like to do. And I was like, oh, I haven't done this as much. I want to get into it. So on Sunday, I set the timer for, I only did 15 minutes. And by the way, you're going to see this with my workouts. Most of them are like 10 to 20 minutes. I rarely go over 20 minutes with a workout. And I do a workout most days, but it's 10 to 20 minutes. And I'm serious. Like, and then once in a while I might go longer, but I just don't want to work out that long. I put music on, that whatever I'm feeling like. Usually it's like a or like a man, or depending on what I'm feeling, or sometimes I'll listen to a podcast. But usually when I'm working out, I want to like just kind of get into my body and like feel the music and just go and not be in my brain all the time. Okay, so I did woman makers, not man makers, but woman makers is basically like you go into a burpee, you do a push-up, then you do rows on each arm, and then you go into a squat to overhead press. So it's basically like so many of the movement patterns in one movement, and I love that stuff. Little me is obsessed with like packing as much as you can into one thing. So women makers, and then I did alternating kettlebell swings where I took those two weights and like I swung them. If you know a kettlebell swing, left arm, right arm. And then I did halos over my head into a reverse lunge with a side twist. So as you can see, I'm getting different planes of motion. This is stuff that you can learn about in the 4-H method. I'll teach you more about how to work out and do this for yourself and become more of the master of your own movement. And there's no pressure to go to this level. It's as far as you want to go, but I will definitely teach you how to create workouts like this for yourself and understand the science of it. So yeah, I did woman makers, swings, those twists, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and 3 exercises. I did 5 rounds, so it was 15 minutes. Pretty cool. And then Monday the 4th, I was feeling a little bit more of, I like these compound movements. And this These things are a little bit hard to the first exercise is a little bit hard to describe because I kind of just made it up. But you're in like a bent over row position. Your knees are bent, your hips are bent, your arms are dangling down on the floor. And then from that, keeping both of your hips and your knees bent, I step one leg back, and then I take that dumbbell and I reach behind me and I look behind me. So it's like a row, but I'm also getting some back and some back shoulder. And because of the staying still and stabilizing my lower body, I'm also getting some rotation in my core, as well as some isometric movement in my lower body. And then I switch to the other side, and even just doing that movement, I feel a little bit sore. I think I'm a little bit sore from it. And then I did side lunge lateral raises. So I went into a side lunge, and once I was in the bottom of that move, I did a lateral raise where I just lifted my arm to get my front shoulder. And then oh yeah, I was like put my dumbbells over my head, and then I brought my elbow and knees together from the side, so I got kind of a side crunch. And then I did some side bends with some lifts, and I just did 10 reps of that for 4 rounds, and it was a total of 11 minutes and 37 seconds. And then yesterday I alternated, and this is fun. I've just been enjoying kind of like doing the strength and cardio thing together. So this is a really good workout. I like this one a lot, is alternating between jumping rope and doing a core exercise. So I did 1 minute of jumping rope in my beautiful office that you can see behind me if you're watching the video. And then I did rolling plank. So I was on my elbows. I rolled up. Oh, I'm sore in my rotators because I've been doing a lot of rotation. I rolled up and reached up towards the sky, came down, and then went to the other side for 1 minute. And I just alternated. I did 20 minutes total, so I did 10 rounds of that. And today, what did I do today? Oh, I just focused on arms. I was like, I feel like a badass, and I want to put my arms up, and this is fun. And I looked at myself, and I was feeling myself, and I did curls, I did lateral raises, I did rows, I did some accessory work with lighter weights. And by accessory work, I just meant working some smaller muscles and smaller muscle groups. And I just did 3 rounds of that for like 20 minutes. That's what I did. So that's a good example of how I work out once in a while. I didn't do a lot of lower body this week. I don't prefer lower body, so it's something I have to make myself do. But like sometimes I'll do like heavier weights and just do deadlifts and squats and maybe split squats and just focus on heavier weights. But I do want to say I don't go to the gym. I mostly work out from home, and I don't lift super heavy, mostly because that's not what I have access to, and I don't need it really to get a great workout. And I really, 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 really focus on form. So that's something that's so important, is I look at my body and I just like, I have a mirror in the back so I can see where I'm aligned or where my hips might be out of place. And I'm so okay with slowing down sometimes, even doing certain exercises with clients or by myself where it's just this most subtle movement that you're noticing between your right side and your left side, kind of like a Feldenkrais way of working out, where it's about balance in your body and really, really slowing down to notice the subtle intricacies of our bodies. If you are like burn out from exercise, that's a really great way to get into it and like find some enjoyment in it, because we're so often like feed on adrenaline to do our workouts. And even if we're tired or not recovered enough, we'll, down a lot of caffeine, put up high music. And not to say that those are bad things to do. I do them as well, but I don't rely on them for a workout because I am recovered enough when I work out in general, and I'm not pushing myself beyond what I need to. And I don't have any very big goals right now where I'm, doing any race or have some specific goal I need to meet. So I'm just doing this for fun. I'm doing this for enjoyment. I'm doing this for being healthy and feeling good in my body. And if you would like, and this is a journey, so like me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I couldn't probably do these things from a healthy place. And sometimes you do need to take a break from exercise, especially if you're in recovery with eating disorders. It's can be helpful to take a break, at least maybe not from movement entirely, but from what you're used to doing or what your eating disorder really prefers with exercise. That usually, not always, but usually it's some type of cardio that's what I've noticed. It's usually running or bicycling or something like that, where it's repetitive and you can count numbers and it's really quantifiable. So sometimes it's helpful to take a break. Like I took a break from running for a long time and now I'm able to run in a healthy way. And that's all subjective too, right? It's like your mentality around it. So if you would like to enjoy exercise and you're in a place where you're dreading it, and even hearing all of these things, you're like, oh, I should do that more. Like you're kind of beating yourself up. I recommend getting my Enjoy Exercise guide. Enjoy exercise, even if you're burnt out or you dread it. And anyone who actually, it's good for anyone who moves in their body. I would recommend it. Just reading the first page can be so eye-opening and liberating. So download it for free. Enjoy Exercise Guide. Find joy in exercise again. There's a baby doing pull-ups because I wanted to encourage like a childlike mindset around it. And as far as food, oh, I love food. Last night I was craving a specific type of cookie. So again, if you're in Madison, festival foods, and maybe you have festival foods where you are, but in Madison, there's one on the main street, Washington. I'm kind of learning street names now after having been here for 4 years. They have this really good cookie. It's like a Reese's cup cookie, and I love peanut butter and chocolate together, but it's the cookie that's like crispy. It's like crispy, but it's soft on the inside. It's just like a very specific texture, and I've been craving cookies. It's been like popping up in my mind for a few days now, and that's when I know it's a serious craving. So last night I went, and while I was there, of course, I got a slice of cake that was good. It was like a 5-layer cake, and I got some ice cream, and I got some chocolate. And usually I like variety, so like I didn't finish any of all of those things, but I like to just have a little bit of different things because that's the Korean in me, the banchan, the variety, the Ben and Jerry's, the everything is bata. That's my style in general. I like a little bit of everything. It's the pansexual in me, maybe. But that's what I ate after I had this. So last week, I'm just being honest with you about my food because there's nothing to hide, and I don't know, maybe it's helpful for you. So usually so last week, the day that after Halloween, where I was very tired, let's say, I was craving like hot, brothy, spicy soup because that's like, it hits this spot when you've been drinking the night before. So I was like, I'm just gonna go wild. I'm just gonna get food for the week. So there's this Chinese place, again, if you're in Madison, Ichiban Sichuan, and when they deliver it, the orders are written in Mandarin, so you know it's good. Oh, and it always comes hot, and it's just the flavors are on point. It's like my favorite Chinese food here. And I just like went all out and bought a bunch of things. And again, I like the variety, so I like ate only little bits. But so I have leftovers for days. I still have so many. I'm like trying to calculate if I can eat all this food in time before it goes bad because I have so many leftovers. Because the day before I had cooked like chicken thighs with like sweet potatoes and potatoes. Is so good. It's so easy. You just like put the sweet potatoes and the mini potatoes in the bottom of the pan. You dry the chicken thighs, give some love, salt and pepper, whatever seasonings you want. You put it in the oven for like an hour plus, high heat, like 430, and you just let it sit, and then it comes out crispy in the skin and juicy and moisturized to the inside, and the potatoes just That's my style. So yeah, I had that the day before, so now I have so much chicken to eat. And so last night before the cookies, which I can't wait to get into. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna have that tonight if I'm craving it. Before that, I had like some chicken and then some leftover Chinese food with some, I always, pretty much always have like greens and carrots and maybe tomatoes and whatever vegetables I have on the side. I just like vegetables and I usually eat them raw. I don't usually make a salad. I usually just throw them on a plate because I'm lazy and I don't want to make a whole salad out of it usually. So that's what I had. And then I had yogurt with milk and nuts. I'm missing peanut butter, and I always love my peanut butter. I'm out. I need to go get some. And like these healthy version of like whole grain, whatever at Jenny Street Market had of these Cheerios, like this version of Cheerios, this brand version of Cheerios that taste good, that hit, and with some berries. So that's kind of what I eat. I just like eat yogurt and cereal and fruit and something with protein in the morning and little snacks sometimes. And then for dinner, it's usually like a protein, a meat with vegetables, and then dessert because I like sweets. I'm a sweet girl, a sweet tooth girl. And that might be ice cream, that might be candy, it might be chocolate, depends on my mood. I'm really big into following my cravings. And when you give yourself permission to say yes to things, it's easier to say no to things and vice versa. Permission is so important. So this could have been the most boring episode I've ever done because who wants to hear about what you've eaten and how you work out? Like that could be the most dreaded conversation ever. And maybe this is the worst episode I've ever done. Who knows? I just wanted to try it. I thought I'd let you in a little bit on my life and how I work out. I will say that when the weather is nicer, when it's summer, I'm more likely to take longer walks and maybe play basketball outside with my bone that I talked about meds and marathons episode. You can listen to that one. I haven't played as much basketball even when the weather was nice, unfortunately, because I love basketball, but I'll do that or I'll run more outside and I'll just do more inside stuff. I'll do more jump rope in my office when it's colder outside. But so maybe I'll be a little bit less active, but that's a part of the seasons and it doesn't bother me. And it's just a change in the seasons. And yeah, that is typically how I eat. I have been drinking more in October than I usually do, and that's something I'm aware of. I've just been going out more, and that's all right. It's not forever, but that's something I'm keeping in mind. And I am happy, I'm healthy, I like the way that I move, I like the way that I eat. I don't criticize myself or hold myself back or push myself or hold myself to these really high standards like I used to. It's more focused on fun, and not just fun in my body, but fun in my brain and how things all work together. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you would like to learn how to eat and move for you and your body, each body has a story, each body has a history. I highly, highly, highly recommend you come over to the 4-H method. It could be the best gift you give yourself at the end of 2025, the year of the snake, where we're shedding old skin and old layers that we don't want anymore, and we're bringing a new life. It's also the first full day. As I'm recording this, it'll be a week after the Taurus full moon. And we're letting go of things that we don't want anymore in our lives. We're giving ourselves permission to claim what we want. And the 4-H method is such a beautiful place to do that. I can't recommend it highly enough, especially if a lot of what I say resonates with you, and we would love to have you in there. So that's my highest invitation, as you'll hear in just a little bit. Have the most beautiful day and enjoy how you move and enjoy what you eat. Mwah.